Welcome. Today, we're diving into the world of verbal communication. Whether you're chatting with a friend, writing an email, or giving a speech, verbal communication is at the heart of how we share ideas, thoughts, and emotions. It's more than just talking, it's about making connections, expressing yourself clearly, and understanding others. In this session, we'll explore what verbal communication really means, the different ways it happens, and why it's so important in our daily lives. Let's get started by understanding the basics and setting the stage for a deeper look into its types, advantages, and disadvantages. Verbal communication is all about exchanging information using spoken or written words. It's the process that allows us to convey our thoughts, ideas, and emotions to others. Think about the last time you had a conversation, wrote a message, or even listened to a podcast. All of these are examples of verbal communication in action. It's one of the most effective and commonly used ways to connect with people, whether at home, at work, or in public setting. Understanding the core of verbal communication helps us appreciate its role in our everyday interactions. Verbal communication isn't just about speaking out loud. It also includes writing, like sending emails, drafting reports, or even texting friends. Both spoken and written words are powerful tools for expressing ourselves. When we speak, our tone, speed, and choice of words all play a role in how our message is received. When we write, we have the chance to organize our thoughts and choose our words carefully. Both forms are essential in different situations, and mastering them can make a big difference in how effectively we communicate. Now let's break down the main types of verbal communication. Each type serves a unique purpose and is suited to different situations. From personal conversations to public speeches, understanding these types helps us choose the right approach for every scenario. We'll start with interpersonal communication, move on to written communication, then explore small group communication, and finally look at public communication. Each type has its own characteristics and plays a vital role in our lives. Interpersonal communication happens when two individuals engage in a one-on-one conversation. This can be a formal discussion, like a job interview or a business meeting, or something informal, like chatting with a friend over coffee. The key here is the direct exchange between just two people, allowing for immediate feedback and a personal touch. Interpersonal communication is essential for building relationships, resolving conflicts, and sharing important information in a private setting. Interpersonal communication can take on different tones depending on the context. In formal settings like business discussions or interviews, the language tends to be more structured and polite. In informal situations such as talking with friends or family, the conversation is usually relaxed and casual. Recognizing the difference helps us adjust our communication style to fit the situation, ensuring our message is received as intended. Communication is another key type of verbal communication. It involves expressing ideas through written words, whether it's a letter, a report, a manual, or a quick message on social media. Written communication is especially useful when you need to document information, share detailed instructions, or communicate with people who aren't physically present. It allows for careful planning and editing, making it a reliable way to ensure your message is clear and accurate. Let's look at some common examples of written communication. These include letters sent through the mail, circulars distributed in offices, detailed reports for business, instruction manuals, SMS texts, and even chats on social media platforms. Each format serves a different purpose, but all rely on the written word to convey information. Written communication is especially important in professional settings, where accuracy and clarity are crucial. Small group communication occurs when more than two people are involved in a conversation. This could be a team meeting at work, a board meeting, or a press conference. In these settings, participants share ideas, discuss issues, and make decisions together. Small group communication is essential for collaboration, problem-solving, and ensuring everyone's voice is heard. It's a dynamic process that requires active listening and clear expression from all members. Typical examples of small group communication include press conferences, where journalists and officials interact, board meetings where company leaders discuss strategies, and team meetings where colleagues collaborate on projects. These gatherings rely on effective verbal communication to share information, brainstorm ideas, and reach agreements. The group dynamic adds complexity, but also brings diverse perspectives to the table. Public communication happens when one person addresses a large audience. This could be during an election campaign, a public speech by a dignitary, or a presentation at a conference. The speaker's goal is to inform, persuade, or inspire a group of people. Public communication requires confidence, clear messaging, and the ability to engage listeners who may have different backgrounds and interests. Some common examples of public communication include election campaigns, where candidates address crowds to share their vision, and public speeches by dignitaries, where important messages are delivered to the masses. These events are designed to reach a wide audience, making verbal clarity and strong delivery essential. Public communication can shape opinions, influence decisions, and even inspire social change. Verbal communication offers several key advantages that make it a preferred method for sharing information. It's simple and straightforward, allowing people to express themselves easily. The adaptability of verbal communication means you can adjust your message based on the listener's reactions. It also enables quick exchanges, making it ideal for situations where immediate feedback is needed. Finally, spoken words can provide clarity, helping to avoid misunderstandings and ensure everyone is on the same page. One of the biggest advantages of verbal communication is its ease of use. Speaking or writing is something most people do every day, making it a natural way to share information. Whether you're giving instructions, telling a story, or asking a question, verbal communication allows you to get your message across quickly and efficiently. This simplicity is why it's so widely used in both personal and professional settings. Verbal communication is highly adaptable. You can change your tone, speed, or even the words you use based on how your listener responds. This flexibility helps you clarify your message, address misunderstandings, and connect with your audience more effectively. Adaptability is especially important in conversations where emotions or complex topics are involved, as it allows for real-time adjustment. Another major benefit of verbal communication is immediacy. You can exchange information instantly, whether you're speaking face-to-face on the phone or through a video call. This quick feedback loop makes it easier to resolve issues, answer questions, and keep conversations moving forward. Immediacy is especially valuable in fast-paced environments where decisions need to be made quickly. Spoken words can bring clarity to complex ideas. When you explain something verbally, you can use examples, repeat key points, and check for understanding. This helps ensure your message is clear and reduces the risk of confusion. Clarity is especially important in situations where details matter, such as giving instructions or explaining new concepts. While verbal communication has many strengths, it also comes with some disadvantages. It relies heavily on the accuracy of spoken words, which can sometimes lead to misunderstandings. There's often no permanent record of what was said, making it hard to reference later. Plus, without visual cues or body language, it's easy for messages to be misinterpreted. Let's take a closer look at these challenges and how they can impact communication. Verbal communication depends entirely on the words we choose. If the words aren't accurate or clear, misunderstandings can easily occur. This dependency means that even a small mistake in phrasing can change the meaning of a message. Being mindful of word choice is crucial to avoid confusion and ensure your message is understood as intended. Like written communication, spoken words often leave no permanent record. This can be a disadvantage when you need to refer back to what was said, especially in important discussions or agreements. Without documentation, it's easy to forget details or have disagreements about what was communicated. That's why it's sometimes necessary to follow up verbal conversations with written summaries. Verbal communication often lacks the visual and body language cues that help clarify meaning. Without gestures, facial expressions, or tone of voice, it's easier for messages to be misinterpreted. This limitation is especially noticeable in written communication, where readers can't see or hear the speaker. Being aware of this challenge can help you choose your words more carefully and check for understanding. Without precise wording, verbal communication can easily become confusing. Ambiguous language, unclear instructions, or unfamiliar terms can all lead to misunderstandings. To avoid confusion, it's important to be as clear and specific as possible and to check that your listener has understood your message. This is especially important in situations where accuracy matters. It's helpful to compare verbal communication with nonverbal forms like body language or facial expressions. While verbal communication relies on words, nonverbal cues add depth and context to our messages. Together, they create a fuller picture of what we're trying to say. Understanding the strengths and weaknesses of each helps us become better communicators overall. Verbal communication is best used when you need to share information quickly, clarify complex ideas, or build personal connections. It's ideal for conversations, meetings, presentations, and any situation where immediate feedback is valuable. Knowing when to use verbal communication and when to rely on written or nonverbal methods can help you communicate more effectively. Improving your verbal communication skills takes practice. Focus on speaking clearly, listening actively, and choosing your words carefully. Pay attention to your tone and body language and always check for understanding. Whether you're speaking or writing, being mindful of your communication style can help you connect with others and avoid misunderstandings. Active listening is a crucial part of effective verbal communication. It means paying full attention to the speaker, asking questions, and providing feedback. Active listening helps you understand the message, build trust, and respond appropriately. Practicing active listening can make your conversations more meaningful and productive. There are several barriers that can get in the way of effective verbal communication. These include language differences, distractions, emotional states, and cultural misunderstandings. Being aware of these barriers can help you overcome them and ensure your message is received as intended. Strategies like simplifying your language, minimizing distractions, and being sensitive to cultural differences can make a big difference. Feedback is an essential part of verbal communication. It lets you know whether your message was understood and gives you a chance to clarify or expand on your ideas. Feedback can be verbal or nonverbal, and it helps keep the conversation on track. Encouraging feedback from your listeners ensures that communication is a two-way street. In the workplace, verbal communication is key to teamwork, productivity, and a positive environment. It's used in meetings, presentations, phone calls, and everyday interactions. Good verbal communication skills help you share ideas, solve problems, and build strong professional relationships. Investing in these skills can lead to greater success at work. Wrap up: verbal communication is a vital part of our daily lives. It comes in many forms: interpersonal, written, small group, and public, and each has its own strengths and challenges. By understanding the advantages and disadvantages, and by practicing good communication habits, you can become a more effective communicator. Remember, clear and thoughtful verbal communication can help you connect with others, share your ideas, and achieve your goals.